So what is the Agile mindset? Why is it so important? This video is going to look at the definition, a wee bit of history, the Agile mindset versus some other mindsets, and we're going to have a look at an elevator pitch. If an executive walked through that door, could you, in under 20 seconds, explain what the Agile mindset is? Awesome. Hey, I'm Mike, the Agile coach from Surge Management. Let's get into this. For me, it all started with The Agile Onion by Simon Powell. About 3-4 years ago, 2017, 2018, I came across this image of the mindset at the center of a change towards Agile, and then it growing out to the tools and process. It really opened my eyes up that it wasn't just Scrum, it wasn't just Kanban, it wasn't just this tools and process, it wasn't just values that were created in the Agile manifesto. There was an underlying thought process that was behind it. And this really, took me on a journey. The second diagram that I saw was looking at how the mindset funneled into values, into principles, into tools and process by Ahmed Silki. This is used in the IT Agile courses as well. And I believe it's also been used in the fundamentals courses. And it's getting quite popular out there. I even saw some of the big four using it as part of their presentations. It's a very simple way of understanding that the mindset is how the values were created, which helped deliver principles, which allows tools and processes to be manipulated towards that one mindset, those 4 values, those 12 principles. It's a good way for people who have just started on their Agile journey to understand that there's something greater than just people over process, just working software, just software. Agility mindset has been around for over 80 years. It's not something that was invented in the 2001 Agile Manifesto. So whether or not you look at the Agile mindset, the agility mindset, adaptive space, teal, it's all going to revolve around culture. And that's what we're going to head into in this video. Agile mindset may seem fluffy, a bit of a cop-out by Agile coaches. So, Greg, what is this Agile thing? Well, Michael, it's all a mindset, you see. You either have it or you don't. So how do I get this mindset? Too many questions for one day. Let's talk about that in a retro. It can get very frustrating, mostly because a lot of Agile coaches and Scrum Masters, they don't even know what the mindset is. And that's not about them. It is a little bit fluffy. When we look at it from a neurological point of view, a mindset allows behaviors and traits to be leveraged to end up creating a goal or delivering a goal of some kind. Think of it in that way. How we think allows us to create these attributes, these behaviors that allow us to come up with ways of working. The Agile mindset is a set of attributes that focuses on the customer, on happy employees, on pivoting without mercy. It focuses on the one variable we do know, and that's change. The customer changes, the employee changes, our environment changes, technology changes. So we need to be able to quickly adapt to those new data points and come up with a landscape that focuses on people. So how about an elevator pitch? You literally walk in the elevator, John the CFO walks in and goes, "Hey Mike, what's this Agile thing all about?" "Well, John, Agile is a mindset. The mindset we work on is to focus on people for the greatest competitive advantage." That makes sense. That's all you got to work on. Is you're working on focusing on people for the greatest competitive advantage. You could extrapolate that a little bit more by saying that Agile is a mindset that focuses attributes to create values that allow ways of working for the greatest competitive advantage. And you can backwards and forwards that however you like. Could be your CFO, your CIO, your COO, your CEO, your board members. It doesn't really matter. But they've only got 10, 20 seconds of hearing until they tune out. Well, we know that Agile is focusing itself on culture building. If the Agile mindset led to a ski trip where 17 people created values and then afterwards came up with 12 principles, and this has formed and shaped the ways of working of Agile ever since. When we think about that, we know it is the culture that will allow individuals and teams to come up with their own ways of working. So all these ways of working, great, fantastic. They will bring productivity gains. True competitive advantage will come through culture change. Something that can't be replicated, that is unique to your company. This is not something that your competitor can actually duplicate. Culture is the true competitive advantage. Stephen Deming came up with an idea of the Agile mindset versus the bureaucratic mindset. These laws that he came up with, I think, follow quite nicely into the idea of values that are people-centric as opposed to process-centric. So the goal in an Agile culture, we will look at the goal being the customer. What does the customer want? How is the customer changing? Do we know who our customer is? How are we serving them? What kind of problems do they have and how are we actually fixing those? In what way? When? Versus the shareholder. Profit. And profit's always good. Some companies like to focus on that. I'm not saying they shouldn't. But when you focus on the shareholder's return, you actually get less return than if you focus on the customer. Customer experience will lead to more profit. So how do things get done? In an Agile world, self-organizing teams that are focusing around the customer value that's being produced. These small teams are delivering value continuously so they can learn from new information and pivot or persevere depending on what they are finding. Versus individuals that are outcome focused on what their manager wanted them to produce. So what are the organizational structures here? With the Agile mindset, we lead to network structures. When we think about bureaucratic structures, they resolve around pyramids under functional silos. So the Agile mindset could be translated to be a people-centric mindset that focuses on the customer journey with an employee empowerment angle that delivers under network teams, as opposed to a functional silo hierarchy that delivers on what the shareholders want. So what about Carol Dwelly's growth mindset? There are some similarities, and you'll see in a lot of Agile courses that growth mindset is mentioned a lot. However, growth mindset is individual. You have individual goals, you're continuously improving. We want to bring that back to the team. It's not about you, the individual, it's about the team. And teams are teams. That is what the Agile mindset leads to. About empowering people to make decisions to be part of a team. When we think about reinventing organizations, the green and teal colors of organizations are focused on empowerment, on people. You could flip that and say that the growth mindset is great from an orange point of view and would eventually lead into green if the goals of the teams lead to becoming green. From a tribal leadership point of view, that stage 4, unity, will always overcome stage 3, individuality. No matter how great we think we are as individuals, the team will always outperform the individual. So, to recap, you've got the Agile mindset. Why do we call it the Agile mindset as opposed to Agile software development from the manifesto? Because that mindset for those 17 individuals was required to create those 4 values. The reason why they delivered those values so quickly and were even surprised by it because they had a similar mindset. This mindset created values. Afterwards, they recreated 12 principles, and this helped us define Agile software delivery from then on. But it doesn't mean that Agile, just because the brand was taken in 2001, does not mean the term Agile can be taken for software development specifically for those processes. XP, Crystal, Scrum, Kanban. You can't say that they're Agile. You could say they're doing Agile, but if you want to actually be Agile, you need to focus on the mindset. And the mindset is a way of thinking that focuses on people. Another key point to remember is that Agile is culture. And good culture leads to great competitive advantage. This is Michael, the Agile coach from Surge Management. We went through a high-level definition, some quick history. We looked at the variables in the Agile mindset and how we can logically come to the conclusion that it is a culture and not a process. We know that Agile can help your company not through implementing Scrum or SAFe, but by changing the culture and the way of thinking to a set of behaviors and attributes which leads to happier employees and focusing on the customer experience. Awesome. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys next time.